Hood Postman, Legends, Riders, Handgods, City, Hood. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. Lock the door on him. Lock the door on him. Hood Postman. Hood Postman. Reporting live. Reporting live. This the Hood Postman, come and check the program. You ain't from the streets, this is something you should know, man. Running from police, gotta grip the wheel with both hands. Speeding down the interstate, please do not approach him. 40s in the fridge, got the caddy in the driveway. Get all out of my face, I don't wanna violate. Looked up in the mirror and I told myself, why wait? We took this shit worldwide, you only in 5 states. Came from the 4 corners with my 4 quarters. Showed them the style, then they stole on us. Times got wild, then they told on us. Dog, it was hard, but we had to keep it rolling. You ain't gotta ask, you know where to find me. I be in the back streets where it get grimy. It's just me and Mel, Rennie looking bride D. I be going hard till I'm in the 5 C's. Know the vibes. I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides. I ain't never had to tell a lie. Let's ride. Know the vibes. I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides. I ain't never told them up. Lie. Let's ride. Hood Postman. 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 Hood Postman.
Shout out to the Mailroom Nation, to the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. You know the vibe. Be sure to click the notifications bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment below. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. We're back. We're back. Happy to be back with you on this Tuesday. As again, welcome to the mailroom where you can come in and take a look at your mind and examine what's in the heart. This is not a glorification nor a glamorization. It's always an education. Before they had handguns, they always had fair ones. You can go anywhere to get a couple of lies, but you come right here to get the truth. Once again, drop a comment down below. So when the dope content hit, it's going to feel like it's the first team. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to you guys. We're here again, once again, Tuesday. I appreciate you guys for joining me. We come to talk about legends, riders, handguns, handgods, and thinkers. Let me be clear. Legends, riders, handgods, and thinkers. Some people fit the all 4. Some people fit 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to determine that from nobody. What I'm going to do is give you my perspective, my opinion based on the whole city. And we're going to start with my homeboy. I got to start there because here's the thing, right? Reason why I'm going to start with Kim Bullet Tay. And you can categorically place him in possibly in every 4 category I just named. Can you guys hear me okay? Everybody hear me okay? Be sure everybody, hey, party from Top Banks. What's happening? King Mike Martin, Marlena Williams in the house. Can everybody hear me okay? Then before I get started, I want everybody to hear me when I say this. Put a 1 in this chat or say, yeah, thumbs up or something. Give me some direction. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. As for myself, I am doing just fabulous. Oh, loud and clear. Good, good. So I'm starting with Kim Bullet Tay. And I want you to understand something. The reason why I'm fitting in probably all 4 categories. And you'll know once I say it. Here's a guy that saw a problem amongst 2 different neighborhoods, right? Relatively in both in the same area. And he had the mental capacity to create something that would both of them at some point embrace and become one. That in itself makes that guy a legend because he created, not only did he create the initial gang, how it was spelled and how he took it from the Ultimate Santana off the Carlos Santana album, he took it a step further. He gave it a dress from top to bottom, black khakis, black shirt, Monte Carlo button top button. He gave it a black rag. There was nobody doing that. Nobody had done that and still was able to hold on to the title crib. No one had done that. He also showed how it was okay to just be who you were and not try to mimic or match anyone else, but match their energy, match whatever they was trying to put out. That in itself made him a legend. That made him a rider because he was definitely a rider. And that also made him a thinker and a hand god. He proved himself to be a hand god more times over than I can even count. Uh, he would come by my house, and he was this guy named Timothy LeBlanc, stayed over there on the south. He would lend Bullet his morning color. He had a morning color, black and white. Never forget it. Bullet used to pull up my house, and we used to get in the Monte Carlo. And Bullet is smaller than everybody, but fierce, very fierce, incredibly strong. Uh, wasn't afraid of nothing. And we would drive to Long Beach and go to the parties. We would hit the hut, the canteen, and India. Back then, we would just drive to parties or either walk to parties. There was always a party to attend. And that right there in itself made this guy different. Because here's the thing. Why would anybody follow something that the guy that created it wasn't this amazing individual, incredible individual? Why would you follow? Therefore, he had to be an incredible person to even begin to have all these guys over there to follow that. So that in itself made him that special guy. And during that time when he created it, he had Alan D. Kerwin, Jeff Brown, Craig Brown, Teddy Hubbard, Strawberry, Boo Orr, Danny Orr, we call him Dan Tanner, Pinky Orr, Pat Rat, Uncle Al, Fred Benson, Roddy, and and his brother Ken and Ken was twins, Bay Rob, and a host of his sisters was there, and they lived on Santa Fe during this time when he was putting all this together. At this time, the Willows, the Springs, and the Pecks and the Elms and all these other streets hadn't never necessarily joined in. That wouldn't happen until after. But I want you to know, we never lose our loved ones. We just merely in different rooms from them. That's it. We never lose them. There's a difference between reputation, the reputation of somebody, and character. Reputation is an estimate of what people think about you. Character is a correlation of qualities. And there was a lot of quality in that city. A lot. If we go to the west side, and we start off with the Nutty Blocks, which was 165 block, there was Keedy Welch, Barefoot Keedy Welch, Preacher, along with Tootie, along with my brother-in-law, Karate Man Donald. There was Fatso, Big Ollie, Little Ollie, and of course others, but Keedy was there. Mike T was there, and there was others, and they build that correlation over there. Understand? Then you can't leave out who Mac Thomas was. Mac Thomas and big Mac Thomas and Head Honcho was the bridges that fell in the gaps that bridged everything together, because there was Compton Crips sure enough in Compton, because you had the Carver parties. Willie Hurd, Felton, Undertaker, Roy Tucker, Zane. Those guys fit in those categories that I just named. Now, how you place them, how you put them there, that's up to you. But I'm telling you, they belong there. Then you bounce on, because most of the first earlier Crip hoods in Compton, mostly started in parks, whether it's Oaks Park, Bonner Park, Carver Park, Victory Park. And in the first Grandies, before they started hanging out in Grandies, they hung in Victory Park. You can find, let's see, Red Dog, King Ning, Salty Frosty, Half Pine Brewer, Bruno, Lil Ronnie, Catnip, Mr. X, Big Booby. Let's see, it's just Bam, and just a host of Marcellus Robinson was there. You know, just a host of individuals that incredible, incredible strong guys and talented. And they was, and in everybody's mind, in for the lack of a better understanding, everybody felt like they were doing something powerful, and they felt like they were doing something right during that time. It wasn't until that precedent, because we didn't have a precedent to understand at that time where all this was going. And then if you go up and down, and I'm gonna start with the T zone, with my boy Rat, rest in peace, and my boy Green Eyes. I know that them two over there definitely. And then you hop over to the swamps, when you get Tang and Ace Rat Capone and countless of others. Then we hop with the Trag News, Michael Williams, and let's see, my boy Ed Dog. Then you come on down, you got then you come on down there, you got, let's see, on Alondra, 165, come down, you get the Forum Dogs. We already talked about the Forum Dogs. I know White Mike and Danny Block from over there. You come down to the Cajuns, Flim Flam, Elmo, and where, let's see, that's where, I can't think of their name, but yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Shout out to the Cajun Blocks. I don't mean to forget nobody, but sometimes that happens. And then you come down to the Spook Town where you have Volcano, Cartoon, Baby Bosco, Cosmo, you know. Then you go to Park Village, Big Rebo, Tight Eyes. King Ning actually lived in there, a Grasshopper, S.A. Lawrence, Ornian, and just a countless of others. Can't leave those guys out. Everybody has somebody that was powerful. Everybody has somebody that was motivated, moving the whole cadre, moving them in a way that nobody else could move them. Then you had Boot Hill Reggie. Come on, big Boot Hill. I forgot King Rat. Let me mention King Rat in that case. And even Big Wood Rat. Can't leave him out. There's so many people. Sometimes, as we go through this line of cadre of individuals and incredible brothers that stood together and hung together and banged together, but banged for different reasons for why they banged today. It was protection. It was to keep outsiders out there, out of their neighborhoods, and people that was coming in, because you got to know the city of Compton was on high alert, because the original thought behind it was LA was coming to attack Compton. But instead, we had people like Raymond Washington, Stanley Tookie Williams, and also Mac Thomas, incredible individual that came from Watts Compton. Honcho, they came from there, and moved to Compton and became part of Compton. But the earliest Crips were right there in Corporal Park, first Crips. The Grandies was simply just a hangout for all Compton Crips. They didn't care where you lived in Compton. You can live way on the other side of tracks, and you can hang in the Grandies if you was about that life. Don't go there if you wasn't about that life. You come on down, you get to the south side, where Gangsta Ben, Pud Pud, Blue Chip, Bay, rest in peace, Bay. Ronnie Bolton, Chris Walker, rest in peace. Baby Lane, rest in peace. Can't leave those individuals out. Can't. Come on down, you get to the neighborhoods, Big Sherman, Nevins, Bodacious, Tick, Scruncho, to name a few, Hub. Then I got to bounce back up. I can't forget my Palmer box, Big Nate Tillman, Big Knockout Nate, Geronimo. Can't forget them. They belong in there too. So there's so many individuals and so many characters that fit into these different narratives and different understandings, because just because you don't hear from these guys or you don't see who they are exactly, But trust me, if I'm naming them, they somebody. Even rest in peace, Hub from Palmer. And there's other individuals from Palmer. But I'm just giving you what, from my understanding and my perspective. Then you go to Kelly Park, Hick Dog, you know, KB, and others. Landry, Jody, Mario Woodby, Tino, uh, Jeffrey Brown, uh, Tracy Batts, just to name a few. Of course, Dutchman, the Mad Dutchman, Chico, Lonnie, Tanner. Tanner, that's his name, Lonnie, Tanner. They called him Tanner. That just show you, Killer Mike, that just show you the correlation they had with Tanner. We was just that tight. You see, the thing about it, the cancer didn't come in Compton. Like, the cancer started in L.A. in 79. That didn't touch Compton for a good while. And it was all to one mishap, misunderstanding, and something happened at a YMCA. Wesley Brim lost his life. That was like some of the first back and forth. And the narrative got switched up, and people that got blamed for it really didn't do it. It was somebody else that done it. But yet a war was started behind it. Then I got to get to the Lantanas, Marcellus, Old Man, just to name a couple, Junior Taylor. If I can't forget them, Marcellus, man, the Mr. CC Ryder himself. If you look at what he did, meticulously taking people from one Abel Baker, Charlie Devereaux, and taking them up to the rooftop and talking to them in a way that they could embrace the CC Ryder because it was necessary. He saw something way down the street that was coming, but if he wanted to hit it off, he had to bring unity amongst these Compton brothers. He achieved that here in Baby Gangster. And if you go down there, you go to Atlanta, Ducky Hood, Joe Stein, Willie McKinnon. Can't leave them out. Me and Joe Stein went to school together. Me, Joe Stein, Willie McKinnon, half step. We had each other back at the Mingus. Was no checking out for us. I seen people check out of school. I ain't gonna name them. Why? But I went to the school where it was at, where the action was at. I didn't go to Compton High, to where the whole school was 99.9% Crips. I didn't go there. I went to the Mingus, where the opposition, just like all the guys in the front hood, they went to Centennial, where all the action was at. And I ain't taking away from nobody. I'm explaining to you how it was. Compton High was a 99.9% Crip school. The Mingus was probably 70% red, and the other 30% was Crips. Centennial probably had the same situation. I can't forget about the 126 in hoods. Can't leave them out. And so we can go on and talk about these individuals, but Santana is the only Crip neighborhood that is on Rosecrans. That show you the endurance and the flexibility and the manpower that they had to take on that task. However you want to frame it. And I know it's not a pretty one. And I know it's not something that we should be glorifying. I know all this, but sometimes if you want to understand these situations, these scenarios, it has to be explained to you in a way to where you grasp it, you get it, and you fully understand. Because none of this stuff is one individual or two individuals. It's a plethora of individuals and a mindset, and it's also the genius to carry not only yourself but other individuals that's behind you. Turtle Kenny Wayne Johnson went to the places where people told him not to go. Put the word about, if we can't get it, we can't get God. That's what he was saying. Those were very profound, moving words. See, mantras have such an impact on people. If you had a right mantra, you could move a mountain. but it has to be inspiring. It has to be endearing. It has to be something that's going to be incredibly and has to ring on these people's ears. In Santana, there was a multitude of dudes over there. When I tell you a multitude of dudes over there, that was Handgods, that was legends, that was riders, and some thinkers. And I'm not going to put anybody in the category. I'm just telling you it's a multitude of them. It's not one, two, three individuals. Multitude of them. I was just so happy when I saw my homeboy Big T with the homie Dre Brown. I ain't seen Dre Brown in so many years. He was the first Debo I know. Dre Brown. Dre Brown was like the bully out of the front. That was Dre Brown, you know. I can remember Willa Raider, Dre Brown, Snoop, Fat Daddy. They would always be the first ones ready to fight. Always. Always. Right there, Johnny on the spot, on the dime. Let's get it. Let's go. Santana, Big Banana. That's what they would say. If we can't get it, it can't get got. Hard D and Dynamite. This was moving these people. Incredible, incredible words, inspiring, you know. Hood mastery. In the hood, you have to get to a point where your mood doesn't shift based on the insignificant actions of selected hood politics. There are selected hood politics in every cadre, every neighborhood. But you can't let that get a lot. You don't allow the braggadocious to influence your character. Don't allow the misguided or the misguided mindset or the inappropriate motives to get it standing in your way. Because there's going to be a time when you have to grow up and you have to man up and you have to mature. And at that point, you know, you got to be about your family. You got to be about moving ahead, because to remain in that thought with that thought process or that mindset, you know, when you get caught up in red, blue, and you get caught up with cuz or blood, you get caught up with you live over there, you live over there, and you know, it just, all those are limitations. Now, if you're happy with working within limitations, you're hopelessly forever doomed to mediocrity. Hopelessly and forever doomed to mediocrity. That means you're just an average person that's just going to remain average, because in order to get beyond that, you got to get beyond your borders. You got to get beyond your scope. You got to get beyond this thing that's sitting right in your front of you. There's more to see, more to do, more to capitalize on, more people that come into your life, and a beautiful and better understanding that helps give you definition and provides a platform such as this to where you can either speak, give back, change minds, and help people look at things from a different perspective, a broader perspective. You know, you think about when everybody saw Big Tookie. That probably was one of the most incredible things as a youngster. I can remember 1972 seeing Big Tookie with the blue overalls and the one strap, and this huge, incredible individual. And I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, who is this? You know, who is this dude? But you could tell he had an authority, and he loved Compton, and he embraced that whole East Side right there. Embraced it well. And can you imagine you out in the streets playing, and Big Tooks rolls up and just stop for a moment, asks, you know, what's going on? How y'all doing? What's going on in the neighborhood? Checking with the baby Crips. You know, you go back to the baby Crips. Those were probably his most beloved people, because they, you know, we hung on to everything he said, and we really followed him. You know, and I'm not saying that following was the correct thing to do, but at that time we felt like it was. Because here's a dude bigger than life itself. At least that's what we perceived it. That was willing to protect us, but at the same time, come ask were we okay. I remember when my homeboy T-Bone got shot by the Swans. A couple of my homeboys were dealing. Well, my homeboys were dealing with these couple of girls, and a couple of girls started met these dudes, and they started to come over there, and my homeboys recognized they went from over there, got into it, but the dudes came back and bust. You know, it was Big Cookie, Killer Carl, and all them cats that ran over there. You know, matter of fact, Johnny Jones and Killer Carl had the first murder in our neighborhood, 70, 71. Not on a par roof, but way back. That's how they wind up going to the whatever the boys' home or whatever they went to at that time. Donald Duck Norwood, Killer Wayne, all this, Killer Wayne. You got to be tough to eat at Gus. Killer Wayne, I jump on big boys only. Duck with his style, his Stacey Adams and his dress and his hat, his businessman type look, and teaching us the game as far as extortion and all that, and going up in these business, putting the press down and getting money out of them. Learned that from Donald Duck Norwood. He was relentless about that. Don't set up shop over there and have this business going. And if you want to go, you're gonna put some protection on it. That's how it was during that time. And it's unfortunate that we got so far and we let this thing get so far out of hand and we hit where we at today. And don't think that the red team wasn't doing the same thing. And they have they have their legends, they riders, and they handgods and their thinkers. They had a lot of them over there, And we'll do something on them, just not today. We're gonna always, keep it fair. Because when you think about it, nobody's won no wars. All these back and forths, all this blood that's been shed in the streets of Compton, can't nobody say they won anything. So what's the point? 50 years? Still doing the same thing? 53 years, matter of fact. Is it? 54. In August, it'd be 54. So yet we still caught up in this time, I guess this time machine where everything keeps repeating itself. Keep going over and over and over and over and over. But anyway, you guys got any questions as far as in regards to anything I said, or you got any questions about any of the individuals? I tried to name quite a few individuals I named. I can't forget John Washington, Pitbull, Gary Cross, LaSalle. Can't forget those individuals. Big Michael Stone. Y'all know the band from the front of it. Bay Rob, Lebo. I remember actually Bay Rob, Lebo, Kurt, Jobo, Big Pete. All up and down El Segundo, man. Just striking up all on the walls. All up and down there. Then you had LaSalle, Skull, Bird, let's see, from the Michael Stone, of course, from the corner pocket side. Then you had Alvin Whiteside, was a Dinosaur. Well, Dinosaur was Melvin Whiteside, then Alvin Whiteside, Lionel Whiteside, and they had my boy Bo Rock, that's my boy Bodie, Red Boy, all from Moreland Park. See, because I don't want to leave nobody out, nobody, because everybody section, everybody neighborhood, everybody corner, had somebody that started that set, was legendary out that set, was a rider out that set, and was a thinker out that set. No matter what set you name, everybody had somebody Some were slightly different in size, age, and how they put it down, but pretty much the same. And can't miss on none of them. That's why I went back and down, when I went to even Nestor Block. Shout out to Hard Rock. Um, and anybody that's in between that, I got the T zones, I got the swamps, I got the track news, I got the lantanas, I got the 165, I got the farm dogs, I got the Boot Hill Park Village, I got Acacia, Spook Town. Jump on over to the south side, neighborhood, Kelly Park, Atlantic Drive. That's all up and down Alondra. All the way up. I just named the whole Alondra corridor, the whole Alondra. All the way up to Ducky Hood. Ducky Hood sit on both Alondra and Compton Boulevard. Then you come all the way back up. You got the Santa Fe Mafia, which was adjacent to our hood, and the Chesters. They was all them. The Santa Fe Mafia and the Chesters was really all part of Santana, because that's what they're gonna claim when they go to jail. And then you come all the way back up to Compton Boulevard. You got the Palmer blocks. You got the Palmer blocks, and you got the Nestor blocks. And they had right there on Palmer. They had the Cedar blocks. They had the 151s. So they had opposing oppositions right there. Yeah, they had opposing oppositions right there. Then you go back up to we had Nestor was adjacent to them. So yeah, I mean, it was just, I don't know. It's funny how all that, but everybody picked a side or based on your, where you grew up with or whoever, made that initial start, whoever made that initial start and started those cadres and started those neighborhoods and spoke life into it. But I think some of us think that, if it's not dramatized or it's not belligerent, it's not vulgar, or it's not, people just going crazy and showing that, the spook is set by the door. Salute to the platform. Do not get off topic. But what does it say to the community crook that ex-president has been? And I don't know, bro. It's, we'll talk about that too. We'll talk about that too at some point. We'll talk about that. Marcellus Robinson, Curtin Lassell, Michael Stone. You're right. Marcellus is on the chat right now. A guy I call all the time. See, because if you don't have points of references, or you don't have nobody you can bounce stuff off and make sure you got checks and balances, if you're not doing that with somebody that's slightly older than you, or somebody that's more involved, or somebody that had a deeper, in-depth look into it, you're not going to have the real facts, data, statistics, the science, and the mathematics. You're going to miscalculate. You're going to misconstrue what everything was really about. Like, again, there's some things that Marcellus told me that I didn't know, but he helped aid me into that process. Because my perception and experience of reality is really my opinion. It doesn't make it true. It's just my perception. So in order to check what my perception is or gauge it and make it right, I got to talk to other individuals to see what they're inside of and see how our appearances, how they line up. And when they line up, you got facts, you got data, you got research, you got science. Because it's comparative. Anthony Dean, respect to the hood postman. So when we do that, we're able to come out with a narration that's respectful, that is far-reaching, and includes everybody. Be inclusive. You don't exclude anybody, because out of all the neighborhoods I just named, there was somebody there over there that was a legend. There's somebody over there that's a rider. There's somebody over there that's handgods. And then I'm not talking about one individual. I'm saying legends, riders, handgods, and thinkers. It's never just one or two people. Never. And if somebody believe that, Big Jody from the drive. Yeah, I talked about Jody. Yeah, I talked about Jody. You could never get to the real meat of the matter. You'll be missing something. It's just like you put a brisket on the smoker and you forgot to season it, or you forgot to prepare the meat in a way that it'll be, be tender, nice, juicy, and cut, slice. You know. Yeah. See, that's right. That's a fact. I'm 41, and my closest friends they're in the 60s, 70s. They are rich and peaceful, and that's what you got to surround yourself with. People that has an advanced knowledge on this world, and you don't you don't put your limited scope on it, because you may not be old enough, you may not be wise enough, you may not even be intelligent enough. But if you're willing to learn, you're willing to open up your mind, you're willing to take in other information, then you're capable of making an assessment that's valid, that is good and factual to other individuals. Because no one or two, three, four individuals put this machine together. When you saw Mac Thomas, man, can you imagine seeing Mac Thomas, little dude, man, all buffed up and creased up, looking like a hole, like Big Hoob say. Them was holes. I got some more Big Hoob, right, that I got to put out, but where he talk about Sheik Thomas, Death Row Jeff, Slim, big Motor. Rest in peace, Motor. Motor used to sit right there on 103rd, right there by the library. Motor was on Death Row, and he would sit there right. A lot of people don't know this. Big Motor, Death Row Motor, would sit on 103rd on the library off of Compton Avenue and write letters to dudes in the prison. He used to write my cellie when I was in the feds. Motor was probably one of the most dangerous dudes in the CDC. Nobody ever knew that, but when you study history, you have a infinity for it. You find these things out, But yeah, Big Hoop talked about Motor, and I talked to my homeboy Potato Head Paul, Death Row. I got him down. Actually, he allowed me to record him saying what he said. Yeah, so I got that recording from him, and I got Big Hoob. I talked to Big Hoob, so I got some stuff. I just ain't, got around here. That's pretty fantastic. You a fantastic guy, Marcellus. I talked about the genius, because that was genius that you did, even how to bring all that together, Marcellus, when you got each Abel, Baker, Charlie, Denver, and took them up individually and talked to them and made them see what was up and down the road that you had already seen that was coming, in order to make that come together and put that together, that perfect cake together. That was genius, bro. What's up, West Wolf? I got the West Wolf in there. I got to get the West Wolf back on too. Man, how you been doing, bro? Yeah, he got them bangers, y'all. I just shut up and listen. Any questions in regards to anything I said? I went through a lot of people. I talked about the Vamps and Mr. X. And then there was, Tookie, Sweetback, Let's see, Buddha, Bogart. Who else was that? Warlock. That famous picture they took. And then that famous picture where we took, me, Turtle, Twin, Gertzie Montana, Rat, Rick, rest in peace, Pete, Big Bus, Scrunchy. And people know Scrunchy, Handgod. I had a homeboy named Raw Dog. He's the one, if you go back and look at that film, right, that 1984 docuseries, they said, "What's your name?" Reg. And he said, Reg. And he said, man, he was asking, man, you play? Yeah. He said he moved down. But anyway, knockout artists and God. So I'm telling you, it's the multiples. It's not just one or two or three individuals, always multiple people that have various talents that backs up these neighborhoods and make them function the way they function. Did y'all know Monster? Yeah, we knew Monster. Well, Monster got in trouble, man. One of the places he came was to Santana's, and he got helped out. They looked out for him, gave him some stuff. Help fight whatever he was fighting. You too real for TV. That what that mean? Is that the name of your show? Young Voices TV. I think that we all have narratives and we all have narrations, but here's the thing: we got to quit allowing people to narrate our story, and we have to narrate it ourselves, but narrate it in a way that it's not going to do anybody any harm, or you talking about some old cold cases or something silly like that. Why would you do something like that? You know, if you even go back and look at the Keefy D in his situation, and I don't believe that Keefy D will keep some bullets for 27 years that belonged to a gun that was around surrounding a cold case. I just don't believe that, but I don't know. I could be wrong. You know, but you must know in the instance of a cold case, these people, where you think that you're good or you think they don't forgot, they don't give up on them. It's just one little tiny little thread unraveled, and they begin to pull it, and they unravel the whole thing. Big Mitch, what's going on with you? What's going on with you, Tara? So you got to be careful of that type of stuff, where and that's why you got to be you got to be calculated, and you got to know that what you're about to say could not only impact you, it can impact other individuals. So you got to say it in a way that they can't take two and two and make four. And I think it takes practice. When I was first got into this stuff, or Kev Mack allowed me the opportunity to interview, and then that way I was able to develop my skills and also see how this YouTube stuff works and how it applies. I just didn't jump into it and start getting on here and start talking. I had to think about what was the framework, what was the parameters, what could I say, and how far to go what I'm saying. So thankful I had Kev Mack as that. And a lot of people don't know that. When you think about it, there was this guy, Alex Alonso, but then Kev Mack brought a whole new concept to it and an ingredient to it, because he was actually a really, really street dude. And he put some flavor on that thing. And it allowed me to train my mind and get a fuller understanding of what was being said and how to say it. Pat, rest in peace. Ducky Hood. There you go, bro. Yeah, I remember Half Step. Whatever happened to Half Step? Half step had them arms. Big homie, I need that. Fred, you be too clean. Real smart about that. All of them got you, got ways. Uh, thank you, man. Beach Boy. So again, shout out to the general himself. Rest in peace, Kim Bullet. Matter of fact, he got the bullet from the homeboy Davo. Davo and Snoop. Rest in peace, Larry Washington. Big Man, their dad, Big Man, was the umpire when we played. Because before all this stuff happened, there was like even you go all the way back to the dudes from Luders, Reggie Hicks and Freddie Hicks and all of the Wayne Butler and all them, and they go all the way back to the South Side, Terry Brown and Callaways and John Pace and all them. They, Cap and all of everybody played Little League baseball at Oaks Park. And it was during a time where we knew each other. The Parkers was up there, John and Rod and Calvin, their mom, Mrs. Robinson, Bromfield, Murray Bromfield, his dad was the president, the Isaacs, the O'Bannons, the Romars, all played at Oaks Park. Kenny Landreau, Huey Brooks, all played at Oaks Park. These guys went on to be Major League, or Eddie Irvine went on to be Major League guys. You understand? So a lot of talent came over there. So, and I got to see my boy Dennis Young, Nut, Ivan C. Parker, Papa from Harlem, right on. And then shout out to Platinum Carpet. Then my homeboy IB, Ivan Brooks, Midnight. Handgods. Handgods. Lil M from West Boulevard. Yeah, it's all right. Now we'll get into the LA stuff. Yeah, I know Tone Stone from Blackstone. I know that because Geek from City Stone was my guy. He's doing time right now. But yeah, I'm familiar with the LA politics. It's just we talking about Compton today, Ivan. Because Tookie lived in Compton at the time, so that's the reason why he was mentioned. He had embraced it and spent a lot of time in Compton. Even Jamel used to be over there with his big old self. Somebody asked me about Jamel today. Jamel was cool. I think he was just misunderstood, and he had this bully mentality, but at the same time, he got his card pulled. Marcellus know what I say when I say this. He got his card pulled, and he really he just really liked to see him the way he did when Tookie was in his most critical hour of need. To see Jamel go on the camera, both conservative and liberal media, and he captured him saying what he said at that moment. You would have never thought that would have came from Jamel, as much as he used to be with Tookie, as much as he used to, to kind of lag behind him. Terry Tarzan? Yeah, I know Terry Tarzan. Well, rest in peace. Rest in peace, Terry Tarzan. What you know about him, Ivan? Oh, Potato Paul, he was solid. He was solid. His cousin, my best friend, knew him when homies had to pull up and make him confront the situation head on. Oh, you was good with Big Mac? Rest in peace, Big Mac. Yeah, so a lot of these individuals, man, are no longer here. Some, some just natural causes, some died from medical issues, and some died from bullet wounds or whatever. But at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do. Like I say, we don't ever really lose loved ones. They just in a different room. They merely in different rooms than what we are. Oh, he had told you that history, right on. And that's why I say there's a difference between reputation and character. Reputation is the estimate of what people think about you. Character is a correlation of qualities, different qualities. There's multiple qualities. And people gravitate towards you when you have certain qualities about yourself, and you have certain, very factual, Professor. Thank you, Marlene. You have ways of coming across, you influence the people in a good way. You're not yelling. You're not coming all out of character. You're not acting childish. I got a couple of people that want to come on, and there's a guy. He's out of Detroit, Crippin in Detroit. Imagine that. Phil, I want to get him on, and then I got my guy from 11A, Carver. Got to get him on. So we got a couple of people ready to go. Fascinating stories. As I said, then I got my boy out of Milwaukee, out of the Ghost, Cold Cut. He's in the chat. He out of the Ghost in Milwaukee. Anybody know anything about Milwaukee? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Character shapes the reputation. There you go, right there. Cold Cut out of Milwaukee, out of the Ghost. Anybody else got anything to add or anything they want to say? Any questions? I know you had that one question about Donald Trump, Trump the punk. Donald Trump seemed like he in a lot of trouble, right? I think so. But what do you guys think about that? Where I went down the whole Compton, and hopefully I didn't leave nobody out. If I did, y'all please forgive me for that, because it's not my intention. My intention is to be inclusive, include everybody, because everybody had a part of this. Everybody had a stake in the fight, and everybody actually indulged in it. Shout out to Stan. What's up, Stan, man? We just went down the whole cadre, went down the whole Compton, the Compton corridor. We started from Alondra, went all the way up down Alondra. Then we came back down, and we went down Compton Boulevard and back up, and then we hit Rosecrans with the Santanas, and we went on to the west side and got them the Mona Parks, the Carver Parks, Front Hoods, the 126 neighborhoods, and anybody else that I didn't get, y'all probably new to me. I don't know you. uh, but make yourself known. Milwaukee. See, there you go. Cold Cut. Yeah, so we had a really good time, and and what you call him, Dinosaur, not Dinosaur, but Alvin. I think y'all heard me say this about Alvin. Alvin was the one that called himself going come over there and punk us with Baby Crips one time, and Tookie had to go around there and slap him upside his head. But that's what I mean. Tookie, man, Tookie didn't play that stuff, regardless of what people think. But him, Johnny Jones, Big Roy Scott, Killer Carl. That's my loved one right there, Killer Carl. Killer Carl's still a G, He don't behave like he used to, but I'm telling you, man, you'd have known Killer Carl 40 years ago, man, better get out the way. Get out the way. That's all I can tell you. You know, I'm gonna say 30 years ago. Get out the way. You know, get out the way. That's all I can tell you. Greetings and brothers. I'm ready for us being a cover before it. What was this SAG really trying to get with you? Nah, bro. That's my loved one, man. You know, don't misconstrue. That's the thing about the internet. Some people will put something up. SAG actually literally took the video down, but some other dude put it up there. And it was just, SAG, we're gonna fall out with each other. And sometimes we're gonna say things that we don't mean to say, but at the end of the day, SAG is my homie, my loved one, and that's that. Nobody can change that. Nobody can change that but him and me. That's it. Nobody can come. What I'm saying is somebody outside decide to do something with that, and try to. Because you got to understand, when it comes to this internet, right? And look at this top media guy. Top media, and I forget the other guy. He lost his channel, but he started a new channel. He's the one that's clipping all this other guy. I can't think what his name. He the one that my boy, the homie got slapped up. The homie got, he got the real slow talk. We don't know where he's from, who he is. You don't see his face. All you do is hear that real slow kind of different type of voice. I really can't nail that where he's from because I know he's not from the West Coast. He doesn't sound like a West Coast guy. But what they do is they go in, they clip parts of videos. That's why I talk the way I talk. So if you clip my video, the way I talk and the way I express myself, you're not going to get nothing from that because I'm not belligerent. I'm not cussing. I'm not angry. I'm not overzealous. I'm not being fired up by because somebody's saying something in my chat or none of that. So they can't cut my video up per se and do something that's going to be put it out there to where they can make their own type of content off of something I said. But they do other people because they catch them in a moment and then they put it back out there. And then you guys, shout out to Cynthia now, then you guys are taking it in the wrong way because you didn't hear the full context of what the person was saying. And this top media guy, I'm telling you, he's a content thief. And the other guy, my boy, homie got capped up real good. And I don't know where this dude coming from. But anyway, he lost his first channel. Now he don't created another channel. And I forget what the name of the channel is, but there's two of them out there that I know for sure that go around stealing content. They'll take Crip Mac Cowboy, and Gangster and a couple other people and that mess them together. And he'll make it seem like all these guys are feuding amongst each other. Because he took a clip from Crip Mac, he took a clip from G, he took a clip from Cowboy, and he took a clip from Snoopy Badass, and he'll mesh all that stuff together. And you think these guys are really fighting with each other the way these guys do this. So you guys be careful what you're listening to. Because this guy from Top Media, he's actually from Great Britain. And all he does is steal our culture. Like, he's no different from an Adam 22 or he's no different. Except Adam 22 does it in plain sight, sitting right there looking at you. Vlad does it in plain sight, sit there right there looking at you. But these other guys, they hide and do it. So Vlad has become a millionaire. Adam 22 has become a millionaire. Now Adam 22 is getting really weird to where he's, got this dude boning his wife and something, who does that? How could that ever be right again? This dude don't drop the horse. He got some horse. He drop that horse up in there, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. There you go. 2 gang for you, gang. Yeah, 2 gangster for you, YouTube. That's it. Marlene, that's it. But he had another channel too, Marlena, before he got this one, But right now it's called 2 Gangster for You YouTube. That's the guy. 2 Gangster for You YouTube, and the other guy is Top Media. You'll never see him. You'll never they'll never come on YouTube where you can see and dialogue with them like myself and some of the other content creators. holding court and Cal Capone or whatever, any of the content creators, Al Prophet. You'll never see these guys. Adam cutting up. You'll never see them, but they will come in and steal your content and take it and put it. He put a Crib Mac and a 600 guy, and Cowboy, Brick Baby. And you would think all these guys is really, And then he put who else he put in there? I think he put Spider Loc in there as well. I happen to think that Spider Loc is really an intelligent guy. I listened to him talk, and he expressed himself really well. I think he comes across really great over the internet and some of the things he's saying. And if you he's a very adept in his analytical skills. It's very good. If you get into a back and forth with him, he's really good at coming back. Like Whack 100. Whack 100 is good at coming back. Coaching vultures, just like Paul Mooney said, everybody wants to be a ninja and sit there. Really, you don't want to be buying. Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, just speaking, not showing. Yeah, you're right, Marlene. That's all they do, just speaking, not showing. So you don't know who these individuals are. They could actually be working for some intelligence agency, because it's all intelligence gathering. So that's why I'm saying when you're speaking, just know what you're saying, understand what you're saying, and have a framework for what you say, so it doesn't come back and bite you in the butt later on. If you dare to get on here and start talking about this sort of type of content, because I could go politics, religion, I can go science, mathematics, physics, biology, chemistry. We could talk about fashion. I happen to know a guy. His name is Sharad Show. He came up in the fashion world. He actually have a TV show called what is it? Essence TV. Yeah. So yeah, I know a few people that does quite a few things. So is it, when you know people, you meet people, you have the right spirit, the right attitude, people embrace you and bring you into their world. Yeah, he said his wife. I tell you, I don't know no black man that would have done something like that. I don't know, Rodney Scott. I really don't pay no attention to who they be. I don't like the beefing with black people. I just don't like it. I don't do it. People say things about me, and a lot of times I won't even respond. Because I know if I respond, it's just, I'm responding to ignorance in the first place. And when you respond to ignorance, that really don't make you look any better. But there's a way to address you could tell people to go to hell in such a way that they enjoy the trip. And that's how you do it. They just enjoy it because they really don't know what you're saying, but you just throw their head off their body. But I appreciate everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Continue to share this content, because when this content hit, it's gonna feel like it's first and the 15th. Welcome to the mail room, where you can come in and take a look at your mind and examine what's really in your heart. Before they had handguns, they had handgods. You can go anywhere in the world and get a couple of lies, but you come right here to get the truth. And that's just our goal over here, is to teach, get on the bus and just let us take you to school. That's all I can tell you. And hopefully that we arrive in a destination that is good and pleasant for all of us.
Proof of grind all the time, baby.
Yeah. Cali Finest, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the fans get me. It's guap off top, diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing, they see me shining. That's hard work, proof of grinding. New money. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking. And I don't talk about it, I just make it happen. Word on the block is that my shit go. Freaks for the low.
Shout out to the Mailroom Nation, the Mailroom Goons. Marlena Williams, go ahead and lock the door because we are gone.